Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Mo Money, Mo Problems podcast, the podcast dedicated to the trials, triumphs, and insights of green industry business owners. I'm your host, Matt Foreman, and today we've got Levi Schroeder with Levi's Lawn Care out in Fayetteville, Arkansas. So, Levi's got a story that really stood out to me because it's built on something that we don't talk about enough, and that's discipline. So, he started with a push mower about 15 years ago, and today he's leading a 6-person team. But instead of going into debt, buying new pieces of equipment, or saying yes to every opportunity, he's grown by making a lot of very patient, intentional decisions, building dense routes, buying equipment only when the work really justified it, and pricing for employee speed instead of the owner's speed. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Levi, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a
Of
pleasure.
course. So let's go back. Let's go back in time. 15 years ago, you started with a push mower. What did your first jobs look like? How did you get those? And then why'd you stick with it?
Yeah, I mean, really, it was before 15 years ago. Just when I was a little kid in the neighborhood. I just always liked being outside and being hands on, working. Helping my parents in their flower beds or with our own yard work. We had a little farm when I was real young, so I always been hands on, and they kind of gave me that discipline. But I always had several yards in my neighborhood as a kid, just kind of I'd push mow on the side. So if you look at it that way, I've been doing this my whole life. but yeah, I didn't really get into it full time till I was about I would say after college is when I really started to decide this is going to be a business. But before that, I started just to do it in I guess when I started college, just to pay my way through college, just 1 yard at a time. And I just my first client ever, I just knocked on a door that was overgrown, and I was very scared, and nervous. This was just me and my little beat up truck and a push mower, and I just knocked on the door and was like, "Hey, I'm trying to save money for college, and uh, I noticed your yard needed mowed." And some lady, she had a baby, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're a godsend.
Yeah,
Yes, please,
nice.
but get me on your schedule." And so that was my first client. I did good work for her, and then she referred me to her neighbors, and then she referred me on Nextdoor, the Nextdoor app, and then I got
Yeah.
like a week later, I had like 5 other clients, and then they started referring me. So it's really been organic growth. I've never really paid for marketing. I've tried the ads, in the newspapers or the golf ads, and they never work. It's just doing good work, and word of mouth has been the best way for me to grow. And also that helped me keep my routes, tight and close. So I'm not driving 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. They're all in like the same neighborhood, the same location. And today I have about 200 yards. They're all in our city in Fayetteville. So the drive time is very minimal. I'm not paying a lot of windshield time for the guys driving from yard to yard. They're all 1 minute away tops, from each other. And we'll do about 20 a day. So it was a lot. It was very hard to say no to clients. When you get a job or a lead and it's like, it's a big yard or whatever, it's worth good money, but you just got to think about the long term,
Hmm.
and just keep those routes tight, and it's really paid off just saying no.
Yeah. I love that your first one came from knocking on doors. It reminds me of I don't know if you're on social media a lot, but SB Mowing. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
Oh, it's this guy. He goes on and he just kind of films himself, sets up a tripod and he just knocks on doors and says, "Hey, can I mow your lawn for
Oh, really?
free?" Everyone's always shocked,
Oh, yeah,
what do
yeah,
you mean
yeah.
for free?
I've probably seen them. Then I see
And then it's
those
a
videos
time
all the time.
lapse of everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of those guys now that do that.
Yeah, it's a really cool trend. It's kind of I mean, I've seen a million lawns mowed, but for some reason, I always just lock in on these videos. I'm like, all right, how's this one gonna mow? So I always just think those things are so interesting.
Yeah, no, I
So
didn't do any for free. I would,
yeah,
I
good,
would,
yeah, good call, good call.
but I get it. It's
Um,
good marketing for them.
so you turned it into a business. Where'd you learn how to do that? I mean, because it's one thing to say, okay, I'm gonna go mow a lawn, but then it's a whole nother thing to start start a business where you have employees, payroll, gotta like manage the routes. Like, where'd you learn
Yeah.
all this? Was it on the fly or?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much it's all on the fly. Like I said, I just grew naturally. It wasn't overnight. Although looking back, it kind of felt like it. But
Mhm.
just 1 yard at a time. Once I got enough yards, and once I had enough money saved, I'd get a bigger mower, a zero turn, and then after that, it's like, well, I got too busy, so I hired an employee to help, and then all of a sudden I had more time, so then I started getting more yards, and then eventually I got another truck, another trailer, and just copy and pasted that setup. So now I had 2 mowing crews, and then that's when I started realizing like there's really good money in this, and then I had all these clients, and they started asking for other services like shrub trimming, mulch installation, tree trimming. So now I have 2 mowing crews and 1 cleanup landscape crew, and I think that's where I'm gonna stay. I don't really want
Yeah.
$1 million business. I thought about it. I know that's like the American dream, but I have 2 kids and a wife, and it's a lot, and it's a lot of time, but the business is pretty manageable. And I've tried getting an office secretary, and it's just like one more person to train and manage, and when they quit, it's hard to replace them. So I just decided to keep it simple, keep it small. But to answer your question about learning how to do the business, is YouTube. YouTube has been my biggest
YouTube
help.
University. Yep.
I actually went to college I say I got a 4-year degree, but it took me 7 years to get to it because I was working like a part-time job, plus I was doing my lawn care on the side and doing college. So it was a lot, but I kind of regret going to college, to be honest. I learned more just by watching YouTube videos, and like mainly Florida Turf Pros. He's been my biggest help on YouTube, and I've learned the most from Jonathan.
What in particular, like for people that haven't heard of Florida Turf Pros, like what is he going to teach?
So he's the one that kind of inspired me to say no to clients outside my city and just keep those routes super tight, and that way you're not driving a lot. You got to be picky with clients. Not so much in the beginning when you're trying to get work, but once you get enough work, if you get a bad vibe from a client or a lead, it's probably best just to pass on it. And if there's a job that you just don't know how to do in the beginning, sometimes it's going to take that on and learn from it. But if you don't have the proper equipment and you got to go out and buy it and you're going to get in debt, just don't do it. Just stick to what you're good at. And that's just kind of my main philosophy is just keeping it simple. People feel like they need to go out, buy a dump trailer, big truck, big, skid steer, whatever. They get in debt, but they don't have enough jobs to cover their expenses, and that's how they get in trouble. Then they go bankrupt or got to sell all their stuff. So it's just so less stressful to just buy stuff when you have enough work, or just rent it. Rent the equipment for a job and until you have enough work for that equipment instead of just going into debt. I've been very very proud that I've been debt free my whole business. I bought a dump truck. I took out a loan for it, but I paid it off as fast as I could, so I didn't pay much interest on it. So that's like the only debt I took on. But other than that, it's just buy as I can afford it and as I need it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, and it sounds like it's very rinse and repeat scalable. You get a little bit bigger, then you can buy something and then grow a little bit more, a little bit more. To your point, I mean, so many people and so many companies, like sometimes it seems like it's a race to 7 figures and beyond. But it doesn't have to be. And to your point, I mean, you said earlier, well, is the American dream $1 million? I think the American dream is getting to spend time with your family, getting to have a life outside of work. And so I think that's the most important thing. I'm sure you can agree to that too.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you ask me what success is, it's not money. It is living comfortably, and but mainly now I'm starting to realize it's just being able to spend time how you want to spend your time. And right now that's with my family and me doing what I want to do outside of work and family time. So I don't schedule any jobs on Friday. Like that's my That's
Love
my
it.
day. And if it's also leaves us some cushion if it rains. We're able to make up, and then I don't have to work the weekend. My guys don't have to work over the weekend, so that's been a big help. Is just scheduling 4 days a week. Work longer hours those days, and have Friday off, and you got a 3 day weekend, and it really helps with burnout. So I'm not burnt out at all. I'm more so burnt out on the management side, but as far as the work goes,
Yeah.
I enjoy working out in the field. So
Yeah.
I love it.
So talk to me about the management side. Like, how did you find your first employees? Like, what do you, and like, if you were to need to go get more, like, what do you do?
Man, I've had about 100. I've probably been through about 100 employees in,
Wow.
in my career. Over the 15 years that I've been doing it legitimately, and but I started off just having my friends help me.
Yeah.
My best friend helped me first, and then that was back before I had payroll, so I just paying them under the table. And then my first legitimate employee, he was also a friend, big helper, just somebody you can trust. So that's kind of where I started, and then from there, I kept growing, and I switched to Indeed. I tried Indeed out. It creates more work, interviewing people, calling their references, maybe doing a background check. But so I did that for a little bit, but then I just went back to hiring people I know, and or friends of my friends, and that's really been the best way to get employees. And also, if you could just if you find a good helper or a good employee, you got to pay them as much as you can. You don't want to make them feel undervalued. So I do a really good job of just paying them as much as I can if they show they're disciplined enough and can help me manage all the little things. And employees like that are invaluable. I'd say you might get 1 out of 10 or 15 that are like that. But when you find that guy, you just got to pay him well, and as long as you treat them well, they'll treat you well. So that's my biggest help right there for employees.
So what are you doing right now to manage employees and manage the routes and ensuring that like all of the properties are getting hit in a timely fashion?
They just start. We just have a start time. They show up. I got the list ready for them, ready to go, and I do all the maintenance for the equipment. Sometimes I have employees help me with that, but I like to just I wouldn't say I'm a micromanager, but I'm definitely hands-on, which
Sure.
is just how I was born. But
Yeah.
so I just make sure everything's ready to go for them, and they just bust them out. And we'll only work 4 days a week, like I said, and that really helps them not get burnt out. So they just keep showing up every week. And it's the past few years, I've really had the same employees the past 3 years for the
That's
mowing
great.
crew. The landscape cleanup crew it's harder work, so I tend to go through employees a little faster. But that's the kind of job. So the mowing crew does the mowing stuff. I like to kind of be on site and manage most of the cleanup jobs and bigger projects. So I am kind of burnt out on mowing. I'm not gonna lie. I've done my time mowing, so I really haven't mowed a yard this year yet. So
That's great.
I mainly just do the cleanup jobs. I just all the cleanup jobs is like the icing on the cake for me now, and that's just where I'm at. 2 mowing crews
Yeah.
and 1 landscape cleanup crew, and we're just cruising.
And so you previously like talked about like wanting like saying no, the power of that. Was there a time when you didn't like live by that philosophy and like said yes to too many things?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it ends up happening every spring because that's where the opportunity to make as much money as you possibly can is a springtime. You got so many landscape leads coming in, mowing leads, shrub, everything. It's just everything's growing, and I still weed. I have a minimum price we stick to, so that kind of weeds out a lot of clients or leads. There's only certain yards we mow. They got to be like flat and level, no big hillsides, no big ditches. I just stick to the easy mowing jobs that are straightforward, and but yeah, sometimes I still accidentally one slips by. It's like, man, I should have said no. But yeah, it happens. You just got to learn from it. And it every year I try to make the business. I learn from my mistakes from the past year, and implement them the next year. So every year the business has been getting easier and easier to manage. And I'm just, trying to stick to the jobs that we're good at. So that's where it's at.
Yeah. So like right now with your work specifically for mowing, are you guys running like annual contracts, or is it month to month, or is it just pay by mow?
It's been, I have all my mowing clients on a biweekly automatic charge. So we
Awesome.
bill biweekly on the 1st and the 15th of every month. And that really helps the cash flow. And then, all the landscape jobs are just pay after it's done. Unless it's a big job, we'll take a deposit. But I recently started getting into some contracts for apartment complexes and some commercial work just to help us through the winter, just to have that steady income. Monthly, they just pay us a certain amount every month and throughout the whole year. So that's kind of nice to have that cushion.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get more of those. And I've been thinking about doing that with all my mowing clients. Just add a set price every month throughout the whole year. Because winters are hard. I mean, it seems like no matter how much we make during the spring and summer and fall, even fall, we can make good money doing leaf cleanups. But once March and April come around, we got all the payroll when we start mowing yards, and then I'm buying new equipment, and all of a sudden that bank account just starts going, getting low, and I don't have a line of credit. I just try to save up as much as I can throughout the summer, put it in a savings account, and then I'll dig into that when I need to, when it gets low. But I just try not to get in debt and save up, and it's been working so far.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that's the lawnmower's way of hibernating is stashing away your acorns. It's stashing away the money you made in the season so that you can survive during winter. So
Exactly, it's a roller coaster, but
yeah.
spring always comes around, and there's always going to be that money there. So
Yeah.
you just really gotta work on saving it. Put X amount aside, just to get through next, the slow months in the winter.
Yeah. So how do you maintain these routes? Like do you communicate with your customers at all?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably one of the main things is why I've been so consistent, and it's just communication with clients. It's almost more important than doing quality work. Like clients really appreciate communication. If it rains, but hey, we're behind schedule, I'll send out an email to our clients, let them know what's going on, or if employees sick or whatever, that hey, we're moving a little slow this week. We might be a day behind, your normal mow day. I have a automation where when I dispatch the jobs for the day, it will send them a notification that we'll be there.
Nice.
So they know to pick up, their dog toys or kids' toys and dog poo. So it's ready to go when the guys show up.
That's perfect. That's great. What tool are you using for that?
I use Service Autopilot.
Okay. Great.
We do all our scheduling, invoicing, marketing, timesheets. Keep track of the guys' hours through that. So it's been a big help.
That's awesome. So, in terms of like pricing these out, I know you said you had minimums. How do you do that? Like when, like for a bigger property versus a smaller property? I don't know if you're doing commercial, but like, do you have a system and process in place for that?
Yeah, I know a lot of people or a lot of companies will do measurements, but it's hard to go by measurements because every yard's different. Every yard has different obstacles, So I usually will just look. So a lot of times I'll just Google map it and get a street view, and then have the client send me pictures before I go look at it, and I'll tell them our minimum pricing, which is $50 weekly or $70 every other week, and they'll let me know if they want to proceed, and then I'll go look at it and just give them a quote from there, mainly based on how many obstacles there are, and if they're the size of their gate in their backyard. If we get a big mower or small mower in there, so that's how I go about doing mowing estimates. For commercial work, it's kind of the same process. I just think about how long it would take two guys to do it, and then factor in our hourly rate, and then just give them a price from there.
Gotcha. So is there, I know you said you kind of like have your capacity or limit that you want to set it to. You don't want to grow to this massive company that's just sucking the life out of you. I totally, absolutely love that.
Yeah.
What is your, like, what is your intentions with growth? Like, are we, like, we're good, we're locked in, or do you have like some kind of growth aspirations beyond like right now? Like, are you
Um,
trying to still go get new accounts, or we're just like, hey, we're at capacity? Like, if more
so
people are doing
that's a good question. There's always clients to get rid of, so um, usually
that's
if when we
that's a
do,
quote right there. There's always clients to get rid of.
yeah, I mean, picky client like y'all. I always ask my guys which yards do y'all hate doing when we get to we get full, and then I'll get rid of those to make room for new clients, or I'll just try to raise the price on them. So that's how I deal with that. We only have a limited number of yards we can take on, and I definitely don't want to overbook myself. So just being picky with what you take on and not trying to get everything that comes in the door. You just gotta say no.
Yeah, you own the keys to the castle for your work. I love that, and yeah, say like honestly, saying no creates a bit of a uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Where like a premium feel. Like, hey, I want to work with Levi's Lawn Care, but like they're at capacity, and like yeah, and so now you get to pick and choose who you want, and so you get to trim that fat, run a leaner company, run a company that your employees enjoy more too.
Yeah,
And that's kind of the benefits of also capping your own business of how big you want to grow it too. Because if you're comfortable and you can run debt free, like you don't have to grow exponentially to pay off that debt. So I think your operation is just like absolutely like what so many people should aspire to, because I can imagine it's much more stress free than being in debt, having to pay and manage a million employees, and then the equipment side of things. It sounds like you've really got your systems and processes like dialed in.
they're pretty dialed. I'm always trying to tweak things and try to implement automations where I can, and with this day and age, it is getting easier to do that. So that's definitely going to help. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to like turn people away from, if that's your dream to have $1 million business, I'd say go for it. But you just gotta study. You gotta fail. You're gonna fail a lot.
Yep.
You're gonna underestimate jobs. You're gonna, buy equipment you probably shouldn't have bought. You're just gonna have to learn from that. And you can't get to be $1 million business without failing. So as long as and the people that do make it to that have failed a lot, but they don't quit. They just keep going. So I know it's possible. I know if I wanted to do that, I could, but it's just, the risk and the stress of it just are kind of deterring me away from that. So I'd say in the past couple years, I made that decision to not go to that next level and just stay where I'm at. And it gives me some peace of mind.
Yeah.
But like I said, I got kids. If I'm still doing this when they're out of the house, maybe I might, when I get more time, maybe I'll go to that next level once I get everything dialed in and everything automated, and I can find some good managers and office assistants. Maybe I'll try to do that. But right now, I'm just happy where I'm at.
I love it. And so, yeah, obviously you prioritize your personal life. So, does this kind of setup allow for you to like enjoy your weekends? I know you obviously like have kind of that Friday buffer, and usually it's free unless something got behind earlier in the week. But do you feel that freedom of like, hey, I run my business, it's supporting me and my family, but I also have time for me?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's so nice to have employees you can trust. And yeah, we just got back from vacation last week, and the guys were, it's nice to just be able to make money and be on vacation. Now, I'm still working and doing the schedule, but I'm able to enjoy myself for the most part. So that it's just nice and peace of mind to have that working for you.
Yeah.
I have a son with a heart condition, so we go to Boston to get his heart looked at every year, and he's had several surgeries over the year. 3 years ago, we were in the hospital for like 3 months, and I was there. We were there the whole time, but I had my guys working for me back home, and I was able to just kind of help our family out, help him out, and be there for them. And it's nice to have that in place, so I don't have to feel like I got to be there. I choose to work in the field when I can because I love it. It just it's rewarding for me. So that's where I like to be. But when my family needs me or I need my free time, I always have the option to do what I want pretty much. So it's just nice to have that opportunity.
Yeah,
I feel like
that.
if you got $1 million business and you got people working for you, I say all the power to you. That's awesome. If you could set that up, that's probably the dream for most guys. And but yeah, like I said, it's just a lot of back work and a lot of failing, a lot of debt. So I'm just happy where I'm at.
Right, and you've built an operation that supports your family, supports your lifestyle, allows you to step away to be there for your son, to provide for him. I mean, that's the American dream. You've built something incredible for yourself, for your family, and it can run while you're out supporting your family. So I think it's incredible, and so yeah, you should absolutely be super proud of that. So right now, if there's anything like in the business that you're still trying to figure out, like, is there anything right now that's still just like, oh, this is always just rough? I know you said winters are always tough, but can't control the weather.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to the winters, just because that's when we recharge the batteries, and rest, and just kind of gear up for next year. Look back on the previous year, see what you did wrong, how can you improve. So. I expect winters to be rough. So it's that that aspect of it financially, it's hard. But as long as you save and plan for it, you should be good.
Yeah. Okay. So I know this is always it's going to be at your expense, but is there any job like in your past, in your history, that you're like, man, this was one of the worst experiences, we screwed this up, or just a terrible customer? Like, is there anything that comes to mind that you're just like, oh, I hope this never happens again?
Oh my gosh. I mean, just like right before this podcast. Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, there's been a lot of those jobs over the years, especially when you get into leaf jobs. Those are the hardest to really accurately estimate, but I usually just charge per hour for those, so they're not as bad nowadays. I used to just put a price on it, like, yeah, we could do these leaves for $300, and then it ended up being out there the whole day. It's like, oh my gosh, this job cost me $300. So those are like that was a hard learning curve, learning to price leaves. But yeah, this we recently did a job for a client. She had a bunch of brush cleared from I guess his electrical company or whatever, and maybe like 300 feet, just this 20-foot section by 300 feet, just full of brush. And I quoted it right. We did the job. She paid me. We did what she wanted. She said she's okay with the wood chips being on site. So we put it through a wood chipper and shot them in the brush, and we scattered them out nicely, and then she came out and she said it looks great. She's happy. She gave me a check, and then we left, and then I got the call back. Hey, actually we don't want these mulch chips there. Can y'all move them to the side? We're happy to pay a little extra to do that. I know I said it's okay. So I went back the next day. I moved them to the side and blew as much as I could off. And then she called me back, said, "Hey, there's still a few wood chips. Can you?" And she's wanting her rocks blown off or something. Like, I guess they had moss. I don't know. It was just like a weird situation. So I went back. I blew her rocks off. Blew the rest of the mulch. Went home. Then she said, "Hey, actually, there's some dead brush in the wood lines. Would y'all come back and get that?" And I was like, okay, yeah, it wasn't a lot. So I went back, I got it. And then she called me
Oh
back.
my goodness.
She actually texted me and sent me a picture, like some little stuff. And you know what? I said, I'm happy to reimburse you like up to $100, but I think I'm just gonna have to part ways. And this is a client we were doing some mowing for too. So I was like, I think we're just gonna have to part ways. I'm gonna reimburse you $100. That's the best I could do, but I'm not gonna make another trip out there. So that's definitely been one of those jobs you're talking about that just happened
Yeah.
this past week, and it's like we've already made 3 trips out there. I'm not gonna make a fourth trip out there, especially since she
Right.
said it looked good and she paid me, and I'm going out there. That's my customer service. I do a
Yeah.
really good job of making sure the job's good, and if it's a client that is never happy, I'm gonna get rid of them because I know they're gonna keep calling me back and wasting my time and energy, and it's starting to take away time from my family. So it's like, okay, we're gonna cut you off. So that's that.
Yep. Well, everyone gets them. But uh, I mean, other than that though, like you said, you maintain like good relationships like with your customers. Like, would you say for the most part, everyone's like, "Hey, we love them."
Yeah. I've had some clients the whole 15 years I've been doing this. They're still with me, and they really appreciate our work, and they more than anything they appreciate our reliability. You know, if you're on a Monday schedule, you're gonna be getting mowed on Monday, and it's been like that the whole 15 years. Unless it rains, and I'll let them know. But besides quality work, communication and reliability is the key to having a successful business and staying in this industry for more than 5 years. Because a lot of landscapers are bad about communication and reliability. You know, they'll want to make a quick buck and go buy a bass boat or whatever, and then they're done. They got or they're burnt out or whatever. So to make a living, you just gotta be consistent and communicate with your clients, and just show up and do the best you can, and you'll be okay.
I think that's great, man. And that was actually going to be my final question to you is like, what do you want to tell somebody that's trying to get started? And I think you just nailed it on the head. I mean, it's going to be consistency, great customer service. Don't buy a bass boat right away. And
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The-
And obviously know what you can afford. And I think like one of the easiest ways and but most disciplined ways is like, don't go into debt.
That and I would say one of my in hindsight, I wish I would have got systems in place a lot sooner. Just keeping track of time, how much man hours you're spending on each job. Just track it, look back at it, make sure you're staying on your budget, and just stay disciplined. And make each year easier than the last year. So that's just the main my main philosophy.
I love it. And then at the end of the day, again, you've built a successful business, one that's been running for over 15 years now. You get to spend time with your family. You get to grow a family. Congratulations on fatherhood. I too am there, so I understand the joys of getting to spend time with your kids. And so yeah, it's just it's amazing to see what you've done. Again, debt free, having that discipline, and kind of getting to own your own destiny. I'm sure you could grow it. I'm sure you could go beyond $1 million. Would it be comfortable? Maybe not, but you get to control where it's going, and I think you've done an awesome job. So
I've
kudos to
been
you.
trying. I will say it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Sure.
We got bad days. We got good days, but and there's still a lot of things I'm working on. But yeah, right now, recently it's like I got a 5 and a 7-year-old, and it's like I blink my eyes and they're in elementary school, both of them, and
Hmm.
it's like wow. And
Yeah.
I don't want to miss that. So right now, my main priority is just trying to figure out how I can make the business less stressful, so I'm not as tight when I'm at home, and trying to work on setting a time to not work on the business, because it's when you're a business owner, it's just nonstop. There's unlimited amounts of work you can do, from marketing to maintenance to getting hiring, interviewing employees. So you just gotta I gotta work on getting dedicated hours. Like turn the phone off at this time. have one-on-one time, undistracted, play time with my kids. So that's really what I'm working on and focusing on in 2026 and moving forward, is just not missing time with my kids.
I love it. Just great discipline in running a business, great discipline in managing your time, and obviously the discipline of putting your family first. I absolutely respect that. So, congratulations on what you've built.
Thank you.
So, yeah, but that's gonna be a wrap on this episode. Levi, it was awesome having you.
Yeah, thanks for
Awesome
having me,
learning
Matt.
a little bit more about your story, of course. And yeah, I really appreciate you sharing, and I hope that whoever's listening got some great takeaways from this, because again, this episode really highlighted that you don't have to go into debt, you don't have to like stress yourself out with the money. Just be disciplined, work hard, obviously, be consistent, and don't try to grow beyond your means of comfort. And obviously, if you want to have a life, which you should prioritize, because work should not be life, you can do that without really having to put yourself in a dire financial situation. So, Levi, thanks for sharing all that, man. Again, congratulations on what you've built. And yeah, this is a great conversation. So I appreciate you being here.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me again. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. All right. So that's gonna be a wrap. Thank you, everyone. And then cool. So we're gonna cut it right there for the editing. But yeah. So how was that?
That's good. Yeah, it was.
Good, man.
It felt normal. I do therapy, and I've done plenty of Zoom meetings, so it kind of just felt like a Zoom meeting.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you were obviously a natural. It's just like, again, very conversational, not so much an interview. Just again, wanted to kind of get to know more about you. So, yeah, no, like, and everything I said, again, kind of just rings true. I think you've built something like really cool that, again, you get to control. And also I love the idea of like, hey, let's ask the guys which accounts they hate. Like, let's just get rid of them. We're gonna add on better ones. So
Yeah, you don't want to keep doing stuff that you hate doing. That's how burnout happens.
so how do you like right now? I mean,
But
so six employees. Like, what like how often do you talk to them and see them?
the mowing crew, yeah, I mean, I talk to them on the phone almost daily. But I mean, sometimes there's some days they're having a good day. I won't even hear from them. I'll completely forget they're out there working for me. So those are the good days. But yeah, I don't really see the mowing crew too much. The landscape crews who I work with, two other guys. But yeah, I always try to. I'm good about some of my guys like golfing or fishing, so I'll try to hang out with them. They're all I enjoy all the people I hire, and I'll show them that I appreciate their help, and I'll buy them stuff here, give them bonuses and help them out when I can, and just show them that I care about them, because they're helping me out and helping me be successful. So I really try to treat them well.
Heck yeah, I love it. Love
But
it. Well, great, man.
yeah, good luck on your podcast, man. Yeah, same thing, man. You just stay
I appreciate
consistent.
it.
Stay consistent. You'll be well. That's one thing I kind of wish I would have done back when I started, not podcasting, but like have a YouTube channel.
Sure.
Is like I had that idea like 10 years ago. Like, man, I could have a GoPro and make some cool videos, but it's just put it off and never happened. And but
Yeah.
I know like looking back, it's like, man, I probably could have had like 100,000 followers by now if I wanted
Right.
to.
Yeah, I know nowadays.
It was just that, yeah, that just didn't never got around to it. But I kind of wish I did, because it would have been cool to look back on and when I'm retired or whatever, and be able to show my kids kind of what some jobs we've done. I know I have pictures, but it'd be cool to have some videos or YouTube.
Well, this
channel.
one will be out there. You'll always be able to share this and
Yeah.
talk about like where they were at 5 and 7, and where you were at and where you're prioritizing. So that'll be great. And it's never too late to start making videos. I like doing it. It's very. I mean, it's first off, I see it as a break from my work. I love getting to talk to owners on this stuff, because it's just I love hearing about other people's experiences. So it's kind of twofold, like enjoyable. Obviously, like cool if we're growing something big, great. But also, it's a break for me. I enjoy talking to people, so I just think it's a win-win.
Yeah, I probably won't do it now. I mean, I just got a lot of stuff going on, and
Sure.
especially with the family, it's like I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. But
Yeah,
maybe one of these days.
sure. Well, Levi, awesome meeting you, man. I'm gonna send over once we get this all edited, I'll send over the video. It'll be on our YouTube page and all that stuff. We'll send you over some small clips. I don't know if you like do anything on your social media, but obviously like that's what they're built for, so you can just upload them there.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we'll just kind of prepackage all of that and get it edited for you and send that over.
Sounds good. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks
Cool,
again for
man.
the opportunity.
You got it. Thank you for your time. I hope you have an amazing weekend. And yeah, man, hit me up anytime if you have any questions about like anything in the industry.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Cool. You got it. See you, man.
Have a good rest of the week.
You too. Bye.